Hi guys, Kai Draws here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I hope you decide to stick around, and let's get into this video. Actually, before we do that, just want to give a disclaimer. This is really personal and more on the heavy side of things, so if you don't really do like emotions or anything like that, feel free to like mute my voice and put on another like music video in the background and just enjoy the speed paint. That's totally an option. You guys don't have to listen to me talk. Anyway, I don't know if you guys remember this, but way back in February, I drew this drawing called Block 'em Out. And it was a really emotional piece for me. I think it's actually the only piece I really provided true in-depth commentary for because it just really was pure emotion poured out on canvas. And looking back on the art from 7 months ago, it's pretty bad. But regardless of that, Block 'em Out is the only rant piece I've ever made. I was in a really hard place from August 2018 to January 19. It was a really emotional time for me. A lot of my past started catching up to me, and I just didn't really know how to deal with it or express those emotions. I'm actually looking at the document I made for commentary while I'm writing this script, and it's literally labeled, "I'm sad." Also, heads up, I don't know if you guys can hear it already, but the fan for my Mac is acting up, and so you guys might hear that in the video because I don't have a good external mic yet. I am very sorry. But like I said, the document was called "I'm Sad," and if that doesn't sum up those 4 months, I don't know what does. Anyway, scrolling through my channel, you'll probably see a series of streams I did back when I was really stupid and just started drawing. It's something like Lunchtime Draws. Literally the most crackhead series I've ever done on this channel. If you guys do remember watching that or have ever even bothered to, my co-host was my best friend Caitlin. And for those 4 months, August through January, Kate wasn't my best friend. And for 3 months, my boyfriend wasn't my boyfriend. I don't know if it was depression. I know for sure I was suffering from anxiety, and it's something I'm still dealing with. It honestly might have been a concoction of both, but I hated Kate for reasons I still don't really understand. I had issues with being overcompetitive, thinking Kate was always trying to outdo me somehow, or flex on me, or something along those lines, and that competitiveness leaked into my relationship with Trev, my then and now boyfriend, causing a chain reaction of me turning into a huge toxic bitch. I started avoiding being online as much, especially on Discord, which is where I'm usually most active, because I was just constantly getting into fights and arguments over literally the stupidest stuff. It took me going to talk to a counselor to kind of get myself back on track. We had this program in my school that allowed us to have access to free counseling, and so long as no one was in life-threatening danger, it was something kept confidential. Basically, I didn't have to tell my parents I was doing this until I felt ready to have that conversation, and it was really nice and something I did need. My counselor was actually the one who recommended me to draw Block 'em Out, or just something to maybe try to get those feelings out there, because art was my crutch. Art was my only constant when I felt like my world was crumbling from under my feet. As soon as I drew that painting, I was finally able to put into words what I was feeling and what was going on. And it was a really freeing experience. I actually felt weight lifted off my shoulders. Just let me read you a quick excerpt from what I wrote about Block 'em Out. And just a heads up, you're gonna witness some pure angst in this. It's almost like you're already drowning in something, but you don't know what exactly it is that's keeping you from being able to sleep or why you feel so sad and tired all the time. Then a tidal wave of realization hits you, and all you can do is drown further as you realize what you've done, who you hurt, and all the stupid reasons you tried reasoning with yourself that it was the best thing you could do. You build your walls up, keeping yourself in a bubble, praying that the more you ignore it, the faster and easier it will go away. But then, a hole you've been trying to fill with more work and more responsibilities and more meaningless relationships finally reaches its breaking point and leaves a gaping hole where your heart should be, cracking the rest of your spirit along with it. You feel it, your spirit cracking. It's the most terrible, amazing feeling you've ever experienced. You haven't allowed yourself to feel for so long that the tears falling down your cheeks feel as if they're worth their weight in diamond, with how much of a relief it is to actually express an emotion that isn't anger or disgust with yourself and the issues you've tried to so desperately escape. As you try to fix it, you fall further into the abyss. Light begins to become scarce, and the voices in your head start asking, what if? They start telling you can't, that it's impossible to fix what you've broken. No matter what you do to block them out, they still remain, cracking you even further, destroying you. When I realized what I had done and the excuses I was telling myself, I absolutely hated myself. I couldn't stand that I became the very type of person that I've always trashed on. I was a giant hypocrite. I had hurt Caitlin and made her feel like she was a terrible person because she wanted to take up the same interests as I was. Something that friends are supposed to do. Like, friends are supposed to take interest in each other's activities and encourage each other to try new things. And, like, I couldn't wrap my head around that, and I was really selfish. And along those lines, I told myself that being selfish in my relationship with Trev was just me protecting myself because I knew when he and I went to college, we were going to break up. I am literally the luckiest person that these two took me back and let me back into their lives and decided to keep supporting me, because I honestly don't know what I would have done if I lost them forever. But you see, that hate I felt for myself, that's a good thing. It's okay to look back on past actions and hate yourself for it. Not forever. You should not hate yourself forever. That's a very bad thing. But in the moment, if you look back and realize, oh my God, what have I done? That's such an amazing thing. That's growth. That's character development. That is you striving to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. And honestly, that's so beautiful. Don't stifle your growth. Pay attention to that feeling. It's okay to grow. And I know it's scary. Trust me, I went through it. I'm still going through it. But when you can finally move past that hate of yourself and grow, it's freeing. You learn to love yourself. You become whole again. And that's actually the whole idea behind this piece, is being whole again. Learning to love yourself again and the people around you. It's hard, but it's not impossible. 7 months ago, I told myself it was impossible, and that's because I was still blocking things out. Sometimes what we need to do in order to reach that love is face our demons head on, deal with them, and come out stronger than before. I still have a lot to learn when it comes to loving myself, when it comes to being a good person, but recognize your growth and development. We focus so much on the bad in ourselves and our world that we start to feel hopeless. But there's good in everything. It's okay to hate yourself, and it's okay to love yourself. All it shows is that you're growing as a person. I have years of baggage on my back from moving around as much as I did and from the experiences I had growing up. Unpacking that baggage was the best thing I could do for myself and my friends and my family. Releasing that baggage and, talking about it helped me. So, I don't know how many of you guys know about this, but September is National Suicide Awareness Month. And I honestly wish I had made this video earlier, but college life, it's hard to find the time. If you see someone struggling, or if you yourself are struggling, please, I beg you, reach out to someone. These feelings hit in the most subtle ways, and it can be so hard to identify them. But it's better to ask if someone is okay, and nothing be wrong, than to never bother asking them at all. We're all a little broken, some of us more than others, and that's okay. Let's help each other feel whole again. I know that got a little heavy, but these two pieces hold a huge symbolic meaning to me. That one in February, was a huge catalyst for me, and I feel like as soon as I drew that, I was able to really start developing, and start bettering myself. And I'm really, I feel comfortable again. I feel content, and I feel happier than I have in the longest time. There's, of course, still that feeling that, missing family because I'm in college and this is my first time being away from home like this, but, that one thing of unpacking my baggage made the biggest difference for me. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and my story. I really am thankful I have such awesome I have such awesome subs that stick around even when I go missing for months at a time, and put up with all the cringe phases that I've gone through as I've been developing as an artist. So yeah, thank you guys so much for that. And our question for this video is, do you have an art piece that has a lot of meaning to you? What's the story behind it? If you're comfortable sharing that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay artsy.